right, here we go again. Okay, so question one. Do men mislead women about wanting commitment and marriage to get certain sexual benefit? Absolutely, 1,000%. All guys know that their girlfriend will be more sexually responsive and more emotionally understanding if she is made to believe their relationship has long-term potential. All you have is to do, sorry, all you have to do is use the right buzzwords like we or our or future or probably someday. Men routinely use this to their advantage. I bet I could get her to do X if I told her I was thinking of marrying her someday. If a man is seeing a woman, she will usually let you know what she wants to hear. She projects to him what she needs to be told and she says it. She makes the bed and she lies in it. It isn't until a year later she will start to get frustrated because she's not seeing any progress. She won't move in with you. She won't give you a key to he won't give you a key to his place. He won't even leave you alone in his place. And she doesn't have a ring. That's when she starts seeing that the relationship has reached its ceiling. Women thinking they are being sneaky, but if she's trying to drag me to a wedding every other Saturday, it's hardly subtle. If she starts putting pictures of the two of us everywhere, that is obvious as well. Let him be the one to put the picture up. Otherwise, he will see it as the old fire hydrant marking. Okay, guys are tricky. If they have a big house in a nice area, they will often use it as a hook. He may ask you to help pick out the paint of the baby room for when you have a kid together someday. And if periwinkle blue doesn't work out, it can always be one hell of a game room. Or he will ask you to help him pick out furniture. If you tell a woman that you just bought a house and you need help decorating it, she will practically handcuff herself to you and your bedpost. Men have relationship with women out of state, and women always think it's going to lead to something more. It won't. The guy get off the plane, has sex all weekend, and then goes home. You can justify the come and go because you live in a different city. There is a built-in excuse. Guys refer to this as a long distance friendship with benefit. Guys are sneaky. We have one friend who told his girlfriend the only way I would get married is if a woman, let's go, woke up with a BJ every single morning. The poor girl wore herself out every morning for 3 years and he never proposed. What a man will do is tell the woman she's intelligent, funny, sophisticated, and that he is interested in her mind and her soul. As he pulls her tongue down, essentially, the goal is to make her feel like you don't see her as a sexual object. Then she thinks, finally, a man who sees me as more than an object, and she jumps in the sack with you. Men do it all the time. The goal is for her not to know what you are really after. Men act the perfect lover boy. You will say something like, I have never cheated on anyone. I'm not a kid anymore. My days of running with the boys are over. and I'm looking for something real. I'm more settled now. I have my eyes out for Mrs. Right. Mrs. Right. I feel different with you. I feel like I could confide in you things that I couldn't confide in anyone else. When a guy comes on that strong, be careful. Usually, the opposite is true. And if that's well delivered, he has most likely said it many times before. Some guys will call a lot or seem very interested in boring conversation. I had actually fallen asleep doing phone calls and woke up and said, "Really? Then what happened?" And when a guy isn't really listening, that's a sign he's not interested in you. He's just biding his time until he gets into your pants. There are two things to glean. First, if the wrong guy has if the wrong guy has too good a read on what you want, marriage, commitment, and marital thing, he will use it to manipulate you. Pay attention to the guy who said, it's like giving a guy a manual on how to manipulate you. All he has to do is tell you what you want to hear, and it will take you a couple of years to figure it out. What's a waste of time? A married man named Gene explained, when a woman says, if you want to date me, you have to propose by the end of the year. It goes over about as well as someone saying, I just wanted to go out tonight because I didn't feel like being at home. Okay? In other words, the only thing he edged out was a return of Seinfeld. Seinfeld, okay, is a TV show. Instantly, you back off when you aren't the reason. They are there. Set your own timeline and limit and leave if it's time to get out. Until then, don't let your eyes, until then, don't let him know about your timelines or deal breakers. Then keep your eyes open and watch how he manages his 50% of the relationship. Then you will get the real deal much quicker. So, this is the author. Where are we? Why Do Men Marry Bitches by Sherry Argov. Okay. I don't know. If I do it like this, maybe you see. Or this. I don't know which one works. But Sherry Argov is the author. So what is she trying to say? Let's get into the point she's trying to convey. She's trying to say that when women go out there and put their heart out to men, telling them exactly what the men should do to get them, it backfires because men can manipulate it to the best of their abilities and get away with it, okay? They can definitely manipulate that to their advantage, and you'll be left with a heartbreak. And as you said, men are really good at manipulating women who tells them exactly what they want. Because if you tell your opponent what you want, he's going to use that to have the leverage over you. Like, okay, she wants marriage, she wants commitment. Okay, why don't I just invite her to my new house and say, well, this will be the baby boy's room and this will be the baby girl's room when we have 2 kids. But that hasn't happened. He's telling you excuses because he knows your weak point. He's telling you excuses because he knows that you told him about exactly what will get you going. Okay, you told him how to get you, and he's going to use that to the best of his abilities. And do not blame him if he has this leverage over you. It's because you talk too much. You go out there and tell them exactly how they should get you, and they will definitely follow that code. It is a book, and they have to follow the marking, okay, and follow the outline. You just give him an outline. He will not be serious with you. He may have multiple girls simultaneously, and then you don't know. You are just another woman whose handbook he has to follow. Don't blame them, though. This is what happened exactly when women open their mouth and never stop talking, okay? Let's dive deep into this other part, okay? When you move into someone else's place, don't just give up your personal space and belonging. More importantly, nearly always you also lose your feeling of independence. All right. So, oh, sorry, that's different. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. Okay, let's come here. So it says, if marriage is extremely important to you and you are ready to set a wedding date, don't move in unless you have a ring and a date. If marriage is what you want, do not move in with a man unless you have a ring and a date. Let's dive deep into this. If he's already playing house, he won't have a reason to accelerate the process or take that next step. If he already has everything that he wants, why would he accelerate it? If your goal is marriage and that is not his goal, because men are slow to decide if they want to marry you or not. You look, he's already playing house with you. Why are you moving in with him? Let's read. This chapter will not be complete without one final discussion about pregnancy as it relates to marriage. It happens all the time and no one likes to talk about it. Yes, we are going to go there. Malena was dating a successful oncologist for 6 months. During that time, he was very good to her, but he made it very clear he didn't want children right away. 6 months went by and he hasn't proposed. Malena came increasingly impatient and accidentally got pregnant. Later, she admitted that she went off the pill because they made her queasy, neglecting to mention that until it was too late. He tried everything to persuade her to terminate the pregnancy. In the end, she had her daughter and he turned out to be a great father. Just one glitch. He wanted nothing more to do with her. Having a baby is one of life's biggest responsibilities, and you should never knowingly have a baby with someone if he makes it a point to tell you he doesn't want to be a father. You simply can't have a relationship based on mutual conversation and at the same time mollify a guy's right to make such an important choice. The reason it backfires speaks to the attitude of entitlement that men repeatedly said was a deal breaker. Whether it's nice dinner, living together, or marriage and kids, after Melena dropped her bombshell to him, she became the most unattractive woman in the world. The father of the baby explained why it ruined her chances of marriage. It's wonderful to have sex, right? Chances for marriage, it's wonderful to have sex, right? But what if a woman was a force? Sorry, let me read this. I'm sorry. But what if a man was to force you against your will? It would not be so wonderful anymore. That's how a guy, let's go, feels about an unwanted pregnancy that he suspects is deliberate. If she shanks the guy into it, he may love the child, but he will feel nothing but resentment. He will feel nothing but resentment, okay, towards the woman. Every time he looks at her, at that point, she became frightening. What it tells him is that there is something very dangerous about her and that she is capable of anything. That's the woman who will sleep with your best friend and think nothing of it. Once a woman crosses a certain line, the odds of him marrying her or even continuing to see her are slim to none. Men ultimately respect a bitch. Why? She's not a bitch because she's having a bad day. She's a bitch because she's a principled person. Principled person, okay? Who lives her values. Standing up for yourself is one part of the equation. Being a stand-up person is the other part. Wow. Standing up for yourself is one part of the equation. Being a stand-up person is the other part. That's deep, okay? I have also heard several men tell stories about being engaged and sometimes during a heated blow up, some men ask for the ring back. Ask for the ring back. Okay? In one instant, the guy fiance said no and claimed she had lost the ring. Coincidentally, that day, the next day, a mutual friend confided in him that she had found it. Oh my god, that's so funny. Can you imagine? Okay, oh, she's bad. This is the type of woman I guess men like. After that, the relationship was on and off again. Men may like toxic women. I don't know. She still wanted to get married. And for 6 months, they had breakup sex. But he refused to make a commitment because he couldn't get past feeling duped about the ring. She found the ring and yet they were on and off again. That's funny, okay? He couldn't get over her. She's bad. I mean, this is what you guys like, isn't it? Okay, let's go further. Here's how most men think. If you appear honorable and say, here, I want you to have this ring back, he will say, no, you keep it. His pride won't let him take it back, I guess. But if you have a sense of entitlement and make him feel taken advantage of, he will want the ring. Oh my God, is that why they like the Beijers? What is happening? Let's go further. If a man has any kind of substance and isn't as deep as a pebble, he will have a complete of morals. What earns his respect is decency. Decency. Whenever I spoke with men about what they were looking for in a wife, I'm curious. I never once heard she has to be a good cook. Whoa. She has never heard a man saying that his future wife have to be a good cook. Wow, I am baffled because most men want good cook, good cleaner. They want maid for a wife. Most men, not all. No pun intended. I'm just saying what I know. Thus, an eye-opening finding. Let's proceed. Oh, she has to wear Victoria's Secret lingerie every night. Is that so? I didn't know about this part. Let's proceed. Instead, what I heard time and time again was, I want someone I can trust and count on. Whoa, just deep. So, in one word, what she's trying to convey is, if you want marriage from a man, you really want this man to marry you, do not move in with him. If you move in, he's not going to. Why buy the milk if you already have the cow? That's how the saying goes, right? Why buy the cow if you already have the milk? Right? Something like that. Bacon out of pig, whatever you call it. But the author is trying to say that if you want a man to marry you, don't go about it the wrong way. There's definitely a wrong way to go about it. If you move in too quickly with him and you get pregnant for him because you're trying to trap him, those things do not keep men. Getting pregnant for a man, moving in too quickly with a man, is not going to keep him, because guess what? Those are off-putting for a man, because he knows exactly what you're doing. He knows that you want to trick him into marrying you. You want to trick him into settling for you. You may not be his ideal woman. You may not be the woman that he truly wants. Just because you two are sleeping together, it doesn't guarantee marriage. It doesn't guarantee his true intention when it comes to you. He may just want a partner to fill in the space and to hold the space for his future wife. You may not be his ideal woman. He may have wanted you, but because you're too pushy, he said, you know what, I don't want this type of woman. Okay? And she's saying that trapping men doesn't work. It always backfires. If it works, it won't be for long, because they are going to exit. Because ideally, you were not their first choice, meaning in terms of the woman they wanted to marry. So you just set yourself up by victimizing your own self. Men don't like women who are needy. That's what the author is trying to say. Okay, so use your common sense. Do not trap any man into marrying you. Do not move in with a man if you want him to marry you. Make yourself desirable. Do not make yourself too available. That's what she's trying to say. By the way, I'm not sponsored by any of these books that I review. I'm just reviewing it because my channel is about relationship and dating. So therefore, I like interesting and controversial books to review them. I am not paid by this author, but I have to give her credit because I don't want any form of how you call plagiarism. You need to give authors credit, and I'm just trying to dig, how you call it, do a deep dive into their points of view and what they're trying to convey, and critically thinking to make a conclusion or an assumption of what she was trying to convey. So, like I say, we shall be covering a lot on this topic and my other books. I have ton of books again. We're going to be doing this deep. This diving deep into this, whatever you call it. Again, I just want to show you guys what I'm wearing because I love fashion too. Look at me. Isn't this beautiful? Look, it has a pocket. I'm not sponsored, by the way, but since I like to look nice, why not share with you guys? What do you think? Now, stay away from those big houses. Stay out of their bedroom. They're trying to prove to you that they can sell you a notion of having a big house, a notion of having a nice car. If they are not committed and they don't want to marry you, let them go. Don't waste your time, okay?